Realtors have this curse. Realtors are the most consistently inconsistent people on the planet.
Got that right.
Think about what I just said. Realtors are the most consistently inconsistent people on the planet. We work real hard when we have a client, we go this or that, or we start trying this, or there's so many different things we should be doing that we're doing 5% of this thing for a little while, then we stop, then we pivot, then we go here, and then we go here, and we go here, and we go here, and we go here. So many different directions that we are really not consistent in any one endeavor very often. Trying to figure out how do we help you guys get more consistent, because what we know is if you go to the gym once every 3 months, it doesn't really matter. If you go to the gym every day, you build muscle. If you eat healthy every day, you lose weight. If you put money in your savings account every day, you wake up with something later. But if you just do each of these things once here, once there, the other, while you're trying to do 20 other things, it doesn't happen. Let's think about where can we put some stuff to the side and be more consistent on whatever activity is probably the most important to us. Obviously, where realtors are the most inconsistent, because you are all super amazing when you have a client that wants to buy something or wants to sell something. So that's not what we're talking about. We're obviously talking about the most important part of our job, which is our lead generation, which is where we are not consistent, if I had to guess. Enough. Make sense, anybody? If you're chasing 5 rabbits, you're gonna catch none. And if you don't spend your time being more focused and then doing the same things over and over and over again, even though it's not fun and it's not sexy, it's not routine, we are always just trying to find any distraction. We've talked about this 100 times, right? Your phone is the biggest distraction in the world, right? We'd rather look at our phone. Like, I put a watch on now so that I don't have to look at my phone to see the time, because then as soon as I look at my phone, there's a message on my phone and then my brain goes somewhere else. So now when I need time, I just look at my watch. And that's already, I can feel a difference in just how I'm wired. Because as soon as we look at this thing, whatever we're doing gets totally distracted. And that's just one example, right? I mean, we can't live without it, but you really can't work perfectly with it. The hope is you guys can take a minute, think about what is it that you're the best at being consistent at, and what is it that you need to do more of. Anybody want to volunteer?
I've been super consistent with my open houses, and I just kept the momentum going. I just need to get better at not just the follow-ups, but the type of follow-ups, the quality of the follow-ups.
Obviously, you have a bigger business here.
I'm consistent in many things. I've been really consistent with making the calls every day.
Yeah.
But being consistent about making that hour only on new business every day.
Every day. Yeah.
Every day for 60 days.
Realtors are all ADD probably, even, right? Like we're not wired to consistently do something for even an hour, right? We can do 5 things at once, right? We can do all these different things, but really you do it well. And then we're also all wired for instant gratification. And what you're talking about is not instant gratification, right? It's just like putting money in a savings account, $2 a day. It's uncomfortable and it's not, and there's always this instant gratification right around the corner. Oh, I got a showing I should go do. Or, oh, this buyer wants to go see something. Or, oh, I got to run over here. That might get us a contract now, versus if I just call for 1 hour for 60 straight days, it is a fact you will have more business. But that's down the road.
I have a really good track record when it comes to referrals, and I notice I never ask for referrals.
You're not wearing a hat.
Yeah.
You have a date today? I'm sorry, I just looked at him like, you look so different.
The last 10 clients I've had, I have come from referrals. And saying I never asked anybody for a referral. I never asked them for business. It is a little uncomfortable, but people tend to like to help. I don't know, I guess me, and I'm sure everyone else in the room. I think people want to help. You come off the right way, especially if you've helped them before. Try to become consistent in doing it. Ask for help. In this case, you're not asking for like direct help. You're asking for them to just
mention your name. Think
a little bit.
Of course. We talked about it last week.
90% of my business comes from people referring me business. I've been really attentive to those people, trying to meet them for a drink, informing them along the way of how the progress is going with the people they referred me to. And they've been giving me more referrals.
I mean, I think that's something everybody should listen to. We're always trying to find people to give us referrals. When you have somebody that gives you 1 referral, there's a chance they're going to give you 10. There's a better chance you're going to get a second one from them than you are from a stranger. Do we properly tell them how thankful we are for them? Do we properly keep them informed of what's happening with the referral? Do we keep asking them for more? Probably not. But there is probably, the person who gives you 1 is probably will give you 10 before somebody else will give you 1. We tend to take them for granted sometimes and not pursue it. I think everybody here gets exactly 5 referrals by accident a year. Because that's our average in this room, is 5 sales, and they're by accident. So if we were intentional, could we not get 10, right? And I think we could all get more intentional with the ask and the follow-up. And that same thing goes for if you're getting referrals from other agents. Like, we got a referral from a guy in Tampa. I kept him on top of it. Boom, 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 boom. We put him under contract. I called him, tell him that, and he's like, that's awesome. 2 days later, I got another person for you. We don't do a great job with that, with either referring agents or with people who just send you clients. If you listen to enough of Tom Ferry's stuff and you go to his things, one of the things you'll always hear him say is that realtors are always always distracted from what they're good at doing by all the new sexy shiny toys, the new things we should be doing. He'll always bring it back to, tell me how you did your business. And then he'll say, run the play that works. Run it over and over and over again. Don't try to come up with a new play all the time. We're always trying to look for something different. If you play football and you hand the ball off and you run and every time you get 10 yards, then why are you the idiot who calls a pass play? You just do the play that works. He talks about it. It sounds so simple, but it's boring. And realtors hate boring. Like, we're always trying to get that energy rush that we can get somewhere else. And so we don't keep doing the boring things over and over again, but those are usually the most fruitful things, but they're not the fun things. Well, we also don't take enough time to really analyze all of our business all the time. That's why I like these meetings, so we can make ourselves think about where is our business coming from. So often agents, they don't even know where, they can't even tell you where their business is coming from because they're just so busy doing it, right? And we're not thinking about it, we're not analyzing it, we're not figuring out where. If you knew exactly where your business came from, you would probably pour 80% of your energy into that. And again, run the play that works, but we don't even know that, which is why I like these meetings, because it makes us kind of reflect a little bit on our, at least for an hour, think about our business, not just think in the business stuff. Besides going on vacation, you're consistently good at that. This one is our hero right now. Like, she's consistently good at the vacation. And she's selling houses while she's gone.
I'm very good at doing what needs to be done in the moment. So everything that goes in my to-do list gets done. It doesn't matter if I need to go to bed at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. What I need to get better at is adding in my to-do list as a priority time to call people.
You're consistently one of the best doers. Someone tells you what to do. That's okay, boom. Done. But no one's going to tell you other than me, you have to call 5 people every day. How do you get that same level of consistency? That whole notion that you have to clear your whole to-do list before you can do anything else. What happens is the to-do list just keeps growing. You never get to the end because you don't want to get to the end, because if I get to the end, now I got to go do this thing I don't want to do, right? And I think there's psychology to it. And so how do you take the thing that you know you should do, that you don't want to do, and get it into the to-do list, right? And get it locked in there and put the roadblocks up to keep it. Everyone knows we have to make our calls. And everyone knows it's the hardest thing in the business to do. Let's talk about how does anybody protect the consistency? Like, what can we do to help us stay more consistent? Anybody have any thoughts on that? Accountability partners are big.
Rewards, the goal that you can really want to achieve.
RSG challenge.
Nothing like an RSG challenge coming up at the next quarter. Gonna be exciting. Yeah, pain and pleasure. Humans operate either on pain or pleasure. This is how we operate. We either run from one or run towards the other. Yeah, it is crazy the links that we all have to go through to do those things. It does work. Whether it's having an accountability partner, it's never better than when he had 3 meetings a week by every Friday, or he had to give me $1,000 when he only had $1,000. Imagine the motivation for that. But it's funny because we should all be able to internally be able to make ourselves do these things, but it really doesn't work that way. We all need some sort of external pressure or motivation or something. Well, I mean, we are the best at lying to ourselves, and we're the best at fooling ourselves. But if you have a partner, or you have a system, or you have something else, because what you track usually grows. Put everyone's life up on a board and we were watching what we were doing all the time, we'd be all freaked out by how much we weren't doing, all of us. But because no one is watching in this business, that's why we got into the business. If you worked in a job where you had to do this, they generally tell you, you have to do this, and you would show up in the job and you would just be doing that. The problem is, real estate, you don't just have one job. In our defense of being so crazy and going at 100 miles an hour, you have to wear 10 different hats, a lot. It is way easier for us to not be consistent, to not be focused, because we do have to do this, 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 and this, and this. And so it is hard. The industry's defense, the industry's set up for us to be going 100 miles an hour in 100 different directions. But the people who are the most successful have figured out how to slow time down and how to protect their time and how to at least pour in 50% of the energy into one thing, and then use systems, start delegating. Why I talk about the importance of so much is to get to a place where you have an assistant, right? I think you're about to have an assistant walk in the door. You're going to realize how it totally changes your life, because now you have a delegation partner, right? You also have an accountability partner there. There is nothing like paying somebody to give you accountability. You pay them no matter what. So now you better show up and you better show them what to do, and you better get the most out of these people. So that is an ultimate accountability partner in my thing. It's funny that we have these non-negotiables in life, but we don't put them on the most important things. Like those of you who've had real estate coaches before, no one ever misses a coaching session. Never. The coach, because the coach doesn't care. I'm on from this time to this time. If you don't get on this time, I'm off at this time. Next week, goodbye, your money was spent. So if you think about, we never miss a coaching session, right? If you guys and I have a one-on-one, we never miss a one-on-one. But then as soon as we're doing something for us that we don't have that accountability piece to us, we're so good at justifying why we can't do that right now. How do we fix that?
We have 2 jobs. It's not 10.
No.
Yes, we have to do 10 things.
But it's not 10 jobs.
Closing the transaction and looking for more business.
Think about what you just said. Closing the transaction. I got to drive them around. I got to show them properties, I got to send them properties, I got to do CMAs, I got to write contracts, I got to negotiate things. There's 10 things inside of doing the deal. And then on the other side, okay, to attract new business, I got to do marketing, I got to do social media, I got to call people, I got to send emails, there's 10 things inside that, right? But those are things, they're tasks, they're part of it. They're not the job. Job is find business, get them to the finish line. You only have 2 jobs. Well, last year it was 3 jobs. As soon as you got to the finish line, they usually fell apart. But we're in a new era, we're in a new time, we're enrolling, everybody's doing better. But I think what I want to leave with, I think we need to commit here. What is the one thing we're going to be more consistent on for the next 2 weeks? In 2 weeks, I'm going to come back here and I'm going to say, I was consistent doing this and the result was this.
Asking for referrals.
Supposed to ask for referrals.
That's a lot I could do. Reach out like I was doing. I can ask for referrals.
Which one makes you most uncomfortable?
Both.
It's like, I don't want to say it out loud because he's going to make me do it.
Reaching out to people
Right.
and open up that I haven't seen in a year. You have to.
Yeah.
Because, you know.
I mean, isn't it funny that the thing we should probably always do the most is the thing that makes us the most uncomfortable? Why? Why can't it be like getting up and going to the gym is not comfortable, but we should do it all the time, right? Eating broccoli instead of potato chips, not we should do, but it's like calling, talking to people, doing these prospecting is like so fundamentally important and yet so uncomfortable. Why can't broccoli taste like a potato chip? Like, why can't we just take a pill and look like an Adonis, work out? Like, but the world doesn't work that way. Like, we are always the most uncomfortable doing the things that we most important to do, and I think it is like just a struggle that we all have. And in our business, I think we have it. We're the most consistently inconsistent people in the world. Just trying to narrow your focus for even a little while. And I got this great book right here. What is it? First of all, this is like goals don't work unless you put them on paper. Then we got the big ass planner. On page 1, they give you this thing like 90 days. If you really want to get good and consistent in something, do it every day for 90 days. We all know if we do these uncomfortable things for a prolonged period of time, not for 5 minutes, not till we get one good phone call, we just do it every single day and we record the results. There's nothing in life that you do that's good for you for 90 straight days where you don't change your life. It's nothing. Nothing, right? You can lose 20 pounds if you do the exactly right thing every day. You can learn a new language. You can put money in the bank. If you put money in the bank every day, you wake up, there's more money in your bank. If you can figure out what you can do consistently for 90 days, it becomes part of you. But a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, not enough. The book, Eat the Frog, what you read. Have you all read Eat the Frog? Eat the Frog is very simple, and it is one of the defense mechanisms against what we're talking about. Quite often, the thing we don't want to do, we don't do, and we put it off, and it's always lingering in your mind the entire day. Think about the call you have to have with a client that you don't want to have. You should call them immediately and just do it, good or bad, and then you go on with your day. But we don't. We procrastinate that. Then everything we're doing all day, we still have in the back of our mind. In our business, what happens is that person calls you, and you're like, and they call you and they go, oh, I haven't heard from you in a while. You're like, right? It is and that happens to me all the time. I'm the worst. So anyway, if you haven't read Eat the Frog will help you with this. It will teach you the psychology of how important it is to do the one big thing first versus thinking about it all day, or the one thing that like churns your stomach, or because otherwise your stomach's gonna churn all day. And 99% of the time, it's not as bad as you thought it was gonna be. It is not. It's not as scary. Call doesn't go as bad. The person doesn't yell at you, even if you think they're gonna yell at you. That's why you don't call them. Oh, they're gonna yell at me. I'm not gonna call them. All right. Well, if they are gonna yell, get it over. Let them yell at you. So anyway, Eat the Frog. If you haven't read it, it's an easy book to read, super simple. I'd love it. And it's a good foundational piece.
10 conversations for new business every day. The goal within a month is to have 1 transaction from that.
I guarantee you will. I guarantee.
I will continue with my lead gen and my lead generation.
You can also pick the wrong thing to be consistent at very easily, and for all the right intentions, but you can pick the wrong thing because maybe that's the more fun thing, or that's the easy thing, or that's the thing you're used to. And so now you're consistently doing this one thing, but really the other thing was the right path. And I think realtors are also very good at that, protecting ourselves in a way. So, okay, I'm going to be consistent at this, but that's really not the right thing to be consistent at. First that we all have. I do think the first step to the next step is admitting I have a problem. I have a problem. This is like a AA meeting, yes. But no, but I mean, we all have a problem with consistency. If we really think about it, if we were more consistent at what we need to be, all of our businesses would be better. There is zero denying that. It's just not that easy. It's simple, but not easy. And I think the more we talk about it and perpetuate it, if I can just get you to do it an inch and maybe it catches, then I've done my job. Thank you guys.